And welcome back for the last Digimon Partner series. Yeah, Digimon Partner series video for the month. And then we go back into the regularly scheduled Lantern Corps videos next month. This comes from Jim Ulvani. I might be butchering your name, I'm sorry. Who asked the question, what is the Digimon Partner for Yugi Moto? Now, we're looking at Yugi Moto, not a Tem. But at the same time, they kind of go hand in hand with each other. So we will look at both. Because Yugi technically is the Pharaoh reincarnated in many ways. And so, what is the Digimon partner for us? This was unique. This is actually very unique. I started with the rookie. Now I'm here. I started with the rookie, and I'm like, okay, I remember some of the cards he played. I remember kind of how Yugi's portrayed. I like this concept, but I want to try to go a little different. So I'm looking at some of the altered versions of it. I'm like, okay, this is the route I want to go for the rookie. It does have a Digivolution route. I saw one, and I'm like, wait, it has an altered version, which is still a champion level. And then it just kind of evolved from there. So let's get to it. We have, coming in at number one, coming in as the rookie is Shadow Toy Agumon. Now, this is a slightly different version made with different blocks. It's also described as being a bit of a bully. Now, you might be saying, why? Why would that make sense for Yugi? Well, think actually about this way. First off, he plays a lot of toy-based cards in his deck, especially in that fight with Yami Yugi at the end with Tem. He plays, what was it, Blockman, I think it was. So he plays Blockman. So he's got toys in his deck in many ways. This makes sense. So it's a child's mon to some degree. He is a young guy. I mean, he's kind of portrayed as a young kid in many ways. But it's not super awesome ice cream time. But beyond that, the bullying part. Yugi is just a good-natured person, a good-natured kid. And because of that, he befriended and made friends with people who bullied him, who treated him like crap. Joey and Tristan started off as bullies to Yugi. And ultimately, they became his best friends. Joey specifically. And so this actually, in my head, made a lot of sense that this Digimon that bullies kids, that bullies other people, would ultimately come around and realize someone likes me despite everything. It's like, and that bond of friendship would occur, causing him to digivolve into not Gargemon, Gold Gargemon. Now this comes to the reason I went gold. I first started with Gargemon. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. He's a guard. Works fine. But I'm like, no, the Millennium Items are as far as I have to stop and think about. I've always in the back of my head realizing, it's Egypt. Gold is used a lot in Egypt, so the Millennium Mines are most likely made of gold. And then it just occurred to me right now, Yugi, mother effer, you're walking around with probably 50 grand worth of gold around your neck at all goddamn times. Not just because of weight, but because it's literally in the form of something. Each one of those Millennium Item pieces are probably worth at least $500 to $1,000. And that's just the Millennium Puzzle. So, you never stop to think, like, look, I get you can't sell it, but, I mean, maybe, you're putting some of that race in there, you still got just it. Anyway, but yeah, so this is more a reference to the Millennium Item, and you'll see that in the Ultimate Evolution. As well, you'll see the references to the Millennium Item. Gold Gargemon, honestly, I like the gold aesthetic. Gargemon are a pretty friendly and good partner, good with people. So it makes sense that as it gets stronger, his goal is more to protect people. So these next two, specifically, actually both of these really, this is where I had to play a bit, because immediately after I saw Gold Gargemon, I'm like, well, I'd like to have this guy. This guy would make a lot of sense. Like, but does that even work? And I thought, I'm like, well, in some circumstances, they can evolve from this. So the ultimate level, and hear me out, Magdramon. Now, you might be saying, wait. This is an armored evolution from the Digi-Egg of Miracles, from the Vmon line of all things. And technically speaking, this is a mega level Digimon because he's part of the Royal Knights. So how does this work? Okay, first off, the miracle aspect works great for a Tem and Yugi because they are able to literally heart the cards anything when they need it. But back to why. So, first up, Digimon, you can play around with how Digivolution lines work a lot. But beyond that, if you do want an argument for why Gold Guardiamon can't turn into Magdramon, he can Digivolve into Magdramon in the Cyber Sleuth games. So, guess what? That works, in my opinion. But beyond that, now here's the big thing. Beyond that, while he is technically classified as an Armor/Mega Digimon, in any game you play with him as, or use him in, he's only ever labeled down at the Ultimate level. Like, he's allegedly has the power of a Mega level Digimon, but he seems to be placed at the Armor Ultimate level a lot of the time, which is very odd, I think, because he looks like a badass Mega. So, right here, we could easily stop this. We could stop this right now. End of the day, no problem. We're good to go. But that's not fun. So, let's push it one step further. Now, granted, there is no precedent for a Magdramon turning into this Digimon, whereas the other ones have precedent. And while I can play around, the origin of this Omega, technically, actually, we're talking about an Ultra level Digimon. Yeah, like, this is actually a Beyond Mega Digimon, technically. But the origins are very specific for this one. But it's my channel, I can try to rationalize it however I want. So, you have for your Mega, or the form past Magdramon, let's say, is, oh, come on, let's try that one more time. Susanomon. I know it's a fusion of Emperor Greymon and Magna Garurumon. I know that. I actually was playing with him in my Cyber Sleuth Hackers Memories game. By the way, I actually really enjoyed the Cyber Sleuth games. They had a few, like, because I'm one of the people who actually also enjoyed Digimon World Dawn. Even though it's a dungeon crawler, I very much liked that. They did do a couple things, they changed a couple things from that style of game in Cyber Sleuth I wasn't a fan of. Like, you only are able to check the Digivolution at certain hubs, whereas normally, it's fine if you can only Digivolve when you go there. But the fact that you had to check it, I wasn't a big fan of. But that said, I did like the fact that they made it easier to evolve. You don't need certain Digimon APs, I think they call, or experience to evolve. Anyway, I digress. But look, this is kind of like the pinnacle of, like, in theory, this would be like the pinnacle of a Royal Knight in many ways. Technically speaking, Imperial Digimon Paladin mode is that. But this isn't a Royal Knight, but it's still a Holy Man Digimon, which, if I remember correctly, does that fall in line in any way with Magnadramon? Or sorry, it's not Magnadramon, it's just Magnamon. Let's see here. Magnamon is a... so he is a Middle Empire Virus Buster Dragon's War, Holy Knight Warrior, the free vaccine. Okay, so then let me see if Susanomon qualifies under any of that. Susanomon... let's find out, shall we? So, okay. So, actually, he does share both the free and vaccine attribute. He also has the virus busters as well. Granted, he doesn't, like, fall in the same type of Digimon. I got Holy Knight and Warrior in terms of type, whereas I got Godman, Deity / Wizard for type on Susanomon. So, it's not a complete one-to-one, but they actually do share families and attributes. So it's actually conceivable you could do this. And in fact, going back to Digimon World Dawn, in order to get a Susanomon, you've got to DNA Digivolve a Superstarmon and a Magnamon together. So there is precedent even in the games for a Magnamon being able to turn Susanomon. There's just usually extra steps to get there. So beyond that, though, why did I go with Susanomon? Well, Susanomon is described as a deity Digimon, told in Oriental legends, the strongest destructive god and the god in which governs over regeneration. It is told that when the network system descends into chaos, it will erase the existing system and create a new one. It wields the Zero Arms Orochi, which emanates a gigantic sword of light. So, right out the gate, should note, again, not one-to-one. But how can this work? Well, I mean, he is a deity, and technically Atem is kind of a god pharaoh in many ways. He is called upon in the darkest hour when all hope seems lost. And, the network fell into chaos. This would actually be a perfect symmetry with the last Dark Side of Dimensions, where I did it for the Pharaoh. Bring him back, Yugi. And then he just draws, and Atem just comes back from the dead, Super Saiyan style, draws the cards, Mahad was it, and just beats the villain in one go. Beyond that, though, you could also make the argument a representation of the Egyptian gods put into a Digimon's form is known as the strongest destructive god, which, the god cards together are equal a card that is a automatic win. So in that sense, that can work too. So yeah, I don't know. Something about the way this line goes, I actually really like. So you again have for your line, you have Shadow Toy Agumon, you have Gold Gardramon, you have Magnamon, and you have Susanomon. By the way, I've always loved Susanomon's design. It's kind of Power Rangers-esque, but also kind of very superhero. Almost looks a little bit kind of like an All Might variant, to be honest. It's always been, it's got the sun. I just like the design. It's a cool design. And this isn't even the best artwork. Go to the actual Digimon wiki, and you'll find what I think is some of the best artwork of this thing, no doubt. I just didn't use it because I usually like to go with the pictures where I can just have it here without a background and just move it around as a figure. But anyway, this is the Digimon partner and its Digivolution line for Yugi Moto. Let me know if you like this Digivolution line or if you don't. If you like this partner, or would you do something else? Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you folks later. Have a good one.